Alright, from yesterday's video. I filmed the before, not the after. When we did the open down pipes with just the cats. It's not bad. Yeah, it's nice and tame.
You get on, you'll hear. With those big tips, you get on, you'll hear it.
Yeah. Alright, today's just kind of a chill day. We're just going over a couple of things. Went and got a crank sensor, oil pressure sensor thing for the cluster. So maybe we'll put the oil pressure sensor, you know, maybe I'll get that working at some point. But I did go and these gauges, these two stopped working after I did the headliner install. So I went, turns out they just needed plugged back in. Look at that, they all work. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so I'm just putting the VGT back on. I've been running it open just because it sounds cool and I don't really need the extra power. Mileage has been great. I think we're at like 450 miles this tank, which isn't too bad considering all the fueling. But I'm going to put it back on since we are towing tomorrow. And I need to find a way to be able to run the exhaust brake and be able to run, I want to be able to open it as well. So we shall see how we can do that. But I can get my 10 mil socket and throw them vanes back on. Alright, vanes are back on and attached for tomorrow. Now move to the next thing. They're cleaning some of this mess up and whatnot. You can see there's enough blow by to, you know, push this guy out. Every time I come to it, it's about that far back. It's pretty obnoxious, but it is what it is. We have a few routes that I guess we could go. I'm gonna try to find a bolt for that harness there and like try to neaten some of the harnesses up and whatnot. But found I can get 2 valve cover breathers, and then there's another breather for that guy there, and then a new tappet cover. So I'm thinking about all of those. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think the motor's, it runs great, but just enough blow by to fucking inflate a horse, I guess. Alright, so for now, since I like to run with the vanes closed, I was able to throw an extra spring on the bracket, this one here. So if I ever want to run the turbo normally, I just pull this spring off and then we have vane function. This one just keeps it open. So that works for me. This is the return spring to keep it out of exhaust brake position. Like I said, this is all temporary and we're going to build a nicer version of it later. I'm just not, don't really have the time. I'm going to get this bumper pulled off. We're going to start messing with the body work on this today. Get all this sanded down and shit. That wire's routed. Oh, good. Alright, so I got the bumper off. This whole thing's going to get undercoated. I want to try to get, before I take it to sandblasting, I want to try to get everything off of it, the easy spots, and then sand it, get it down to bare metal as best as possible. Then we'll undercoat it. Prime it, undercoat it, and we'll go from there. So that is off, and now we have no front bumper. So whatever. Might go grab the other one I have and just slap that one on for the meantime, but we'll see. Alright, we got the bumper off. I'm gonna start sanding it today. It's not gonna go back on today, but I do want at some point, I need to start, I might just paint these fenders really quick since this will be another month or two. The fenders being this different color kind of has annoyed me since we started, but right through my other bumper on at some point. I'm gonna drive this thing up so I can go grab some pizza. Shut this guy here. We have a new pump coming as well. So with the rise in fuel prices, and we've had this conversation already, you guys and I, we've had this conversation about waste oil. So I ordered an auxiliary pump with, there we go, with a fuel filter. So I can fill my big tank up unfiltered and then use the filter and then run an auxiliary tank. So that's going to be the plan. And we have fuel, we have waste oil, but it's filtered. So that's the plan. We have like 55 gallons in there. I looked at the price. Once I fill up about 67 gallons, the thing's paid for itself. So that's about $400 worth of fuel. 400, I think it's like 450 bucks. GFI is what we're going with. So I'm going to order a bunch of fuel filters we'll call it a day. Alright, so the plan here is to get all these little nubs, all this stuff cut off. It's gonna take a while, but we're gonna be pretty determined to do it. All of that, sand it all down. And then not gonna worry about like stuff like that. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I am gonna sand, you know, use the flap disc, go buy a couple more and get them down to nothing. Cut this guy off here. And then we need to cut all of this out and then these hooks. You can see here the winch that we're gonna put here is gonna hit all of this, and it also kind of gets in the way here. So I just need to carefully cut along there and then make some way, drill some holes so that we can mount this harness as well. Alright, here's where we are about at. This side, getting it down. And we got these bars pretty smooth here. But obviously, like, I want it perfect, but not perfect, if that makes sense. So, like, that stuff's gonna need to get sanded down. It's not gonna be, like, the best, but still gonna get all of this stuff off. And then sand, well, we'll see how well we get it down. But you can see, like, we're getting this down to bare metal. I wanna get this as clean as possible. You can see just how black I'm getting. So, there's white underneath this, and then there's bare metal. So obviously it's getting undercoated, so we'll try to make it as best as possible, but something durable, but not like super crazy either. All right, here's where we got today. We got the center all cut out and the hooks cut off. All this back here, cut them hooks off. You can see just how much dust there was and shit. So, looks like I cut into the tube a little bit, so I might have to, we'll go over that in a little bit, but I was going to get it sandblasted, but I think I might just throw a quick coat of paint on it for now, and then we'll sandblast it next week, because with what's going on, might have a bunch of other things to do to it, so let's get it, throw a coat of paint on it, and call it good for a little while. Alright, so I decided just to start, put boxes between. Decided just to start throwing some paint on it for now. I'm gonna go wash this thing later and like get it all cleaned up, but we're gonna get the body work done at some point. I know I've been telling you that, guys, for a while. So the place, let me see here. This guy here broke. The place for the sandblasting, apparently they're all the way out in York, and then there's another place in not York, they're in Shippensburg, so they're really far away. So I'm gonna put everything back on, throw a coat of paint on the bumper just so that we can run it, and then we'll go next week and get that done. But let's get this thing in there. This headlight, I had to break this, the other one that came out, because apparently they're not like, here we go, they're like backwards or something, I don't know, but get that popped in there, all good. Now we have a bulb, great. We're gonna paint this side as well. And then I'm just gonna throw paint on the front bumper, not undercoating, because then it'll be a pain. So just paint it and then go from there. And at some point, hate that door handle. At some point, we'll get something done with these. And then I wanna get these also painted black, because I have a nice new set, but I wanna paint these black in the meantime as well, so. All right, both fenders are okay. They're just drying. This one came out okay. Sorry about that. That's not paint. That's just me being dirty and shit. So I'm gonna, like I said, we'll give this whole thing a good bath today. I do need to figure out, I need to pull them out a little bit more. It looks like I'm gonna try to get them nice so that they stop popping out. All right, there's one side. Like I said, that's dirty. On the camera, it looks like I painted it. I didn't. So there's a quick coat on this. I'm gonna clean it off first. And kind of hit a little bit on there, so I'm gonna have to fix that, but not a big deal. This one didn't come out the greatest, but again, not a big deal. So we just need to get that up in there. And for some reason that came out. So there we go. Stuff that up in there, call it a day. Might just end up taking the fender liners out, to be honest, because screw it. Alright, here's about where we're at. I kind of like sprayed some spots and whatnot. This side came out a lot better than the other, so I'm going to get all this cleaned up here so that it hopefully can match. I'm just going to go through with like the scrub brush and everything. That didn't fall out. So yeah, this side kind of came out like shit. So we'll try to, I don't know, we'll try to clean it and see what happens, and we will go from there. Alright, all cleaned up. One color. That's weird seeing it all one color. So for you guys that have been wondering for a while when I'm going to do it, this is just temporary, but that's the cleanest I think I'll ever see it, all one color. Came out pretty good, I think, on this side at least. Happy with that. Grab a picture for the gram and call her on our way. Alright, so I got black stuff on my face. That's what happens when you're grinding paint and doing all that shit all day. So the reason I wanted to go through and do it, yes, it's been bothering me that it's been like that for the longest time. So got that taken care of as a temporary. I did get a lot of the work done on the bumper that needs done. There's a couple of little touches I need to do before I take it to sandblast. But tomorrow we're going to be going and picking up a fifth wheel out in Pittsburgh going to Maryland. But I'll have to store it for the day, and then the guy's meeting me out here around 1 o'clock-ish about for the trailer. So I'm getting my check tomorrow for the trailer, hopefully get paid tonight for customer stuff. And then that's pretty much it. So we'll call it what it is. Luckily get to drive all the way out there empty to pick it up, so we should be able to save some fuel mileage on the way out. I'm at about 1/8 of tank now. So just enough fuel to get to the Petro in the morning. Should be about 200 bucks, get out there and back. And that should be super simple. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free, go support the channel. Check out my affiliate links down below. Go check out Celsius.network, Coinbase, and Mudflap. So appreciate you guys. Later.